Please remember to subscribe, click like, and click the bell icon for all notifications on this channel. Over the radio, the stranger, Stephanie, finally reveals her name and location to Eugene. They plan to meet in 1 week. Alpha and the Whispers plan to attack Hilltop with the Horde, forcing the community to start planning for battle. Before the battle, Daryl reconciles with Carol. That night, Negan works with the Whispers to lead the Horde to Hilltop. The group fights back, but the Whispers begin to burn the gates of the community using flammable tree sap. I like this episode. Morning Star, it's called. And The Walking Dead just continues to get better and better as it goes along, week after week. It's always in the back of my mind, how is how are the ones that will not make it this season are going to pass away or they're going to die. Denai Guerrilla, Michonne, and Christian Serratos, Rosita, and Daryl, Norman Reedus. Those are the three. I mean, for sure, Denai Guerrilla this is her last season, but Rosita and Daryl are like up in the air. I mean, Daryl even said, that if anything happens, so he was talking to Ezekiel, and he said anything happens to if either one goes down during the battle, that the other one has to tell the children, take the children and go. He even made Judith promise that she would go take her brother AJ and go with Ezekiel if anything happened to him. There's a lot of that in the air. Like a lot of all of them thinking pretty much that they might not make it through the night. Only a handful of them up against a horde, and then behind the horde, you have what do you call it? The Whisperers, along with Negan. You know, they're like using this flammable sap, and they're lighting their arrows on fire, and they shoot the arrows into behind them into the to the gates behind them, and it's all on fire. And then in front of them, they have the walkers. And then the next episode, they showed a little preview. It's a fallout. Who's the one that died? Who survived? Where is this battle going to go to next? Who is going to prevail? Like a lot of tension. A lot of when it comes to the viewers, a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxious feelings. Like I'm just wondering, when the episode is when certain people die and what's gonna, the ramifications of all that. I still haven't seen Michonne. She left, but I just what's gonna happen? Like, is she gone now? Is like she's gone now, and assumingly she's gone, and that's how her character is going to be written off, that she's just gone and she just went somewhere to do something that maybe to whatever it was that she left for. She explained. I just can't remember. She got to look and see if she can find Rick, any kind of remains of him. Is she going to find another place that they can stay? I mean, even Aaron he was approached with that. And you're scouting all that time you're out there scouting for places and stuff like that. Did you find anything? And he said no. That's the only place they got. Hilltop. It's the only place they got. He even said, "Hey, how about Alexandria?" But by the time they come around and they're there and they meet them there, it's going to be too late. They'll be overrun. Uh, you know, I've been watching Walking Dead since day one, and it's gotten I'd say it's gotten better and better as it's gone along, and some of the seasons were weaker than the others, but I say the last handful of seasons have been good. This one so far so good. I would say this is probably the best season in a long time. You know, I don't see no weak season. I don't. I mean, no weak episode. I don't. It's kept me captivated, and it's kept me wanting to know what happens next. It's brought back that feeling of you know of me being on the edge of my seat. Like I said in the past, me wanting to press pause and kind of look away and go, okay, let me press it again, because I'm thinking something like that, like with Daryl, when Daryl and Alpha were going at it. I'm thinking, is this it? Oh, come on. And I pause it and I kind of look away. I'm like, oh, like, is he gonna die? I'll click it, it looks like he's gonna click it again. I haven't had that feeling in a while, long time, you know. And even though it's nerve wracking, but I like it when it's like that because it kind of keeps you invested in the series. It keeps you invested in that episode. And there's so many things I could take away from here. I like Judith's fighting spirit, just like her dad. She gets that from her dad. I mean, we know Judith is Shane's biological not biological father, but it's all about who raises you, and you see that Rick has a really big influence on his daughter. I mean, even though she was small when he died, but then of course Michonne just as strong as Rick, and she definitely instilled that in her. We see Gamma. She's trying to see her nephew Adam. That's the name out now revealed. I mean, I don't know if it was revealed before, but it's the first time I heard this for some reason. I never heard of, and I don't ever see him, so I don't think they ever really showed, the little guy. But his name's Adam. They refuse. Tammy's husband and Enid's boyfriend. Those guys. They don't want to let her see her nephew. You know, I guess she understands. I mean, Aaron was trying to quell all that. You guys gonna fight over that right now when we have the horde coming and the whispers. And we see Ezekiel who finally revealed to Carol that he has got cancer. They even made love, and I guess in the heat of things because of the whole looming thing of death over them. Maybe they're gonna die tonight. Maybe that's what caused it. That's what heated up the whole passion stuff, and then they decided to just do something. You know what I mean? He even brought that up because hey, if it wasn't no death looming over our heads, like we're gonna die tonight or something like that, and she got to reconcile with Daryl. Daryl pretty much said, "Hey, I'm not mad at you. Like, how can I? I'm never going to be mad at you." He didn't hug her. He didn't give her a little pat on the back. He just walked right by her. But Daryl definitely, he loves her like a sister. He's there for her. They're friends, buds. You know what I mean? He's not going to stay mad at Carol. Of course not. Why would he? Why would he? A lot of things happen, heat of the moment things, and decisions that have to be made like that. Of course, sometimes you rub people the wrong way. Of course, that happens. But there's a lot more things that are more important than those little minuscule things that cause misunderstandings and them to get mad at each other and all that. But that final, you know, sequence of them fighting back against the Horde and the Whisperers was really, really like gets you on the edge of your seat. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the fact that you know they were up against that massive horde. They had that wire, barbed wire, electrified. And then a bunch of them were on it, and I guess it was just so much of that electricity was being used that the generators blew on both ends. And of course, they broke through, and then they start using their weapons to bash them in, and then all of a sudden, here comes the sap, the flammable sap that Beta was collecting. thought you're gonna collect that for like to eat or something like that, to use for something like some kind of medicinal thing or whatever, right? And then here comes Alpha with Negan, with fire, the arrows that are that are lit on fire, and they shoot and they hit the gates behind them. They're all made of wood, and they go up in flames. So they're caught in between. And then next week, they see a little preview, and we see a fallout. And then, oh shit, like what are you gonna? What's happened? Who's left? Who died? We definitely know that there was one person that definitely died because that person caught on fire. That's why how they knew that the sap was what do you call it, was flammable. I wonder if that's for real. I'm pretty sure it is, right? I'm sure it's based in reality that there's some sap that's like that, because there's some stuff like in that they use for kerosene and all that stuff, and they find it. I think they can find it also in natural products too as well. They use that, but the episode overall was really really good. I enjoyed it. Like I say, and I love how these episodes just keep moving the storyline along. There's no lull. There's no like doesn't make sense. It doesn't connect. Doesn't no. It's like it connects. It moves along so smoothly. That's why I love The Walking Dead. People want to complain. I understand. I understand. There's some people that want it to be a certain way. They don't want it to be like this. They want more of this. They don't want like that. They want more of this. But it's like if you just go along and you just accept it for what it is, I'm not saying you have to settle, but if you understand what it's about, it's not going to deviate from what, like what the writers want, what the producers want. And Walking Dead, I think the writers and all that, I think they're pretty astute and they listen to the fans. Sometimes they can't because they'll cull some stuff from the comics and then they write other stuff to kind of put it together. But I got no complaints. You know, some seasons, like I said, are better than others. You know, but overall, it's a great series. Like it's coming back for season 11. I don't know. I wonder if that's the last season. Who knows? They're running out of ideas. When it comes to like the comics. I believe there's that story that it's like 2 years left of like story within the comics. If I heard correctly, I think I remember hearing that. So I guess that won't stop them from writing more episodes and shows, but it's going to be a different looking Walking Dead. Then it's not going to be with the comics. I mean, they could continue the storyline and from the comics and continue to write. So, well, that's my review and my thoughts on Walking Dead season 10, episode 11, entitled Morning Star. And like I said, I enjoyed it, and I can't wait till next week because that final battle scene in this episode was intense. And for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, and as always, take care.